every city and land, there is a place where silence is filled with whispers of wisdom.
We do not know of any document, evidence, book, or publication that has said even a single bad word against books.
A place where every book is a bridge to a new world and every page a window opening to fresh horizons.
The public library is a symbol and a place that forms the foundation and cornerstone for the country's development, prosperity, and strength.
Public libraries are homes where one can hear diverse voices, thoughts, and cultures.
Come to the libraries and read. Reading is very important for the country's growth, progress, and educational advancement.
Today, we step into a space where not only books but people too, have captivating stories to tell. In the final days of 1966, 1344 in the solar Hijri calendar, with the aim of creating a dynamic cultural center responsive to the needs of different groups of society, public libraries were established within the framework of the Ministry of Information and Culture. Before that, two separate libraries were in operation. One, called the Library of Education, which was a haven for learners, students, writers, and researchers, and the other, the Independent Press Library, which attracted scholars, journalists, and advanced students. With the founding of the public library, these two institutions were merged into one under the unified title Public Library, beginning their mission with the inclusive motto, Books for All.
This library was established nearly 60 years ago. Before that, there were libraries in Afghanistan or in Kabul. But those libraries were located inside royal palaces and ministries. Each prince, such as Prince Amanullah, Prince Nasrullah, and Prince Inayatullah Khan, had his own library. However, those libraries were inside the palace, and only high-ranking government officials were allowed to use them. Even lower-ranking palace officials were not permitted access, let alone the general public.
From that day until now, this library has hosted thousands of volumes and millions of moments of learning, reflection, and hope. Over the years, this house of knowledge has grown from a small space into a vibrant and dynamic center. A place where generations have left their footprints of wisdom.
Today, people from all walks of life in Afghanistan, even a 7-year-old child, can benefit from the resources of the public library, as well as university professors, researchers, and scholars. At the higher levels, the public library provides materials and resources from which they can benefit. As its name suggests, the Central Public Library offers services to the public. It is a permanent library with a variety of halls. These halls contain around 120,000 volumes of books divided into sections that our visitors can use.
البته بخشبندی است که میتونن مراجعین ما از استفاده بکنن.
A library is not merely a place for keeping books. It is the cultural heart of every neighborhood. In the children's section, cheerful storytelling and creative workshops open the colorful world of books to young readers. The reference and research section is a refuge for students and scholars who search through silence for answers. Librarians, with their knowledge and kindness, serve as guiding lights.
The library's periodicals section has preserved every newspaper printed in Afghanistan, from Siraj al-Akhbar and Shams al-Nahar up to the present day. All newspapers published in the capital and the provinces have been collected and stored in the periodicals hall as archived collections. This is an extremely valuable resource for our readers and researchers. In this way, our public library holds very old and well-preserved books, most of which are more than 218 to 220 years old. These books are available for the use of our researchers, readers, and anyone who wishes to benefit from these sources. The library is a place citizens visit freely to read books of their choice and interest. They can also borrow books to take home. Here, they quench their thirst for knowledge free of charge. For our dear citizens or visitors who have the opportunity or time to come here and read or conduct research themselves, the reading halls are generally at their service. But for those readers and citizens who do not have the chance or time to sit and read in the halls, there is a book lending section. Here, a form is provided. When they visit, they take the form and fill it out. If they are government employees, students, scholars, or employed elsewhere, they indicate that. If they are not formally employed, they bring a letter of reference from a respected elder in their community. By presenting this letter, a membership card is prepared for them /. When this card is issued, it is valid for 1 year. Members can then borrow books from the lending section for a period of 15 days. If they finish the book within those 15 days, they may come back and borrow another one. However, if the book is large and cannot be studied within 15 days, they may request an extension for another period.
Beyond the books, the library is a place where people connect, a space for dialogue, sharing knowledge, and nurturing culture. In this space, countless stories of success and transformation have unfolded. Students who began their journeys here and reached their dreams. Elders who kept their minds young through reading. And families who created sweet, shared moments together. This library hosts a wide range of programs, including book exhibitions, training workshops, and review sessions. Each one a gateway to culture and knowledge.
Including the capital Kabul. In order to promote a culture of reading across the entire country. From what we observe in public libraries and from publishers in the market. And from our interactions with students, scholars, and educated individuals. We can say that since the arrival of the Islamic Emirate, the culture of reading books has strengthened. The authorities are now more focused on further strengthening this culture so that, academically and in terms of reading, Afghanistan can at least compete with other countries in the region. The Afghanistan Public Library operates according to international standards. The library follows the same principles and standards used by major libraries around the world. All resources that arrive at the public library go through a technical service stage before they are made available in the reading halls for public access.
It is worth noting that the Directorate of Public Libraries now has 109 active branches across the country, 13 in Kabul and the rest in various provinces and districts. In addition, more than 30 private libraries are registered under this administration, providing cultural services under its supervision. Among them, the Central Public Library of Kabul holds a special place. This library consists of 8 public and specialized halls: the Science Hall, the Journals and News Hall, the Islamic Studies Hall, the Afghanistan Studies Hall, the Children's Hall, the Literature Hall, the Reference Hall, the Distribution Hall.
All newspapers and magazines, whether from the capital or the provinces, must be archived here. They are preserved as collections, organized yearly, monthly, and quarterly. If the volume is high, the collection may be divided into 1 or 2 sets. Thankfully, a professional has been hired by the Ministry of Information and Culture to manage this journalism section, and operations continue in an organized and consistent manner without issues.
Throughout its history, this library has hosted some of the country's most prominent intellectual and cultural figures, including Professor Kalalullah Khalili, Muhammad Ali Kozad, Professor Abdul Hai Habibi, Abdul Razak Fani, and Hidari Wujodi. At present, the library houses over 100,000 volumes of books, journals, newspapers, and law collections.
Libraries are generally gathering places for society's intellectuals, especially university professors, poets, writers, and educated individuals. Fortunately, our National Library has historically been a hub for such cultural elites. Many poets regularly visited, recited poetry once or twice a week, exchanged ideas, and shared their literary works. Many writers also utilized our resources. This is a source of great pride and joy for us.
Since its inception, public libraries have made great efforts across the country to realize the motto, "Books for All." Among these efforts are distribution of thousands of newly published books to branches in Kabul and the provinces, organizing nationwide reading competitions, storytelling programs for children, launching new works by local authors.
It is worth mentioning that, to cultivate a culture of reading, the Directorate of Public Libraries has initiated several programs. One of these is an academic competition among youth, aimed at familiarizing them with books and encouraging study through such initiatives. For example, last week, the Directorate launched this competition in Surubi, district of Kabul, and similar competitions are occasionally being held in other provinces as well.
برای اولین بار در یک دهه
For the first time in the past decade, a National Library Symposium of Afghanistan was held at the Intercontinental Hotel. All provincial librarians participated, along with librarians from Kabul and some private libraries.
کتابدارای کتابخانه‌های خصوصی و توزیع بیشتر از
Over 50,000 books were distributed to provinces, and more than 37,000 books were donated. Well-wishing organizations interested in promoting reading culture. After going through administrative and accounting procedures, these were distributed through the public library system. Similarly, the ICQ office donated about 33,000 books to Afghan libraries. In coordination with the National Library, our reading community has grown significantly, with about 130,000 users recorded just at the Central Library, excluding the provinces. The Directorate of Public Libraries plans to launch research and essay writing competitions across the country for the youth. The goal is to encourage educated young people to use various sources and references to prepare strong academic papers, which would then be eligible for prizes and recognition.
Yet, this house of knowledge has not been without its challenges, from limited funding to the changing patterns of reading in the digital age. But through innovation and dynamism, such as the digitization of resources and the organization of diverse cultural programs, it continues to move forward on the path of growth and survival.
We aim to organize book launch events for Afghan authors to encourage and motivate them to write more. Unfortunately, the culture of writing and authorship is still weak in Afghanistan. We are trying to strengthen it through such programs, so that our authors are inspired to create more literary works. We have organized reading competitions not only in Kabul, but also in its districts and other provinces. One notable example was a competition on the life of the Prophet Muhammad, Sirat an-Nabi, held last year at Chumani Hozori, where about 1,200 people participated. Attractive prizes were given by the National Library, with the support of the Ministry of Information and Culture. Currently, we are also working on developing a digital/electronic library, so that both Afghan citizens and non-citizens worldwide can access Afghan library resources online. This is a new initiative and a promising step. Work is underway and expected to be completed soon. Additionally, we currently have a mobile library, and plans are in place to increase this to 13 mobile libraries across various parts of Kabul city. The idea is to have accessible libraries in every street and square so that citizens can easily quench their thirst for knowledge.
The future of this library is bright. A future where knowledge and culture will remain accessible and alive for all. Libraries are bridges, between past and future, between people and wisdom.
It must be noted, there is no path to the material and spiritual development of our country without knowledge. And knowledge cannot be attained without reading and books. Therefore, our message to all youth is, turn to knowledge, so that we may develop and build our homeland ourselves. I come to this library to prepare for a series of exams. During this time, I study newspapers and other materials. I find the library very peaceful and clean. I can easily study here for 5, 6, or even 7 hours without disturbance. Truly, studying isn't just for students or university attendees. We've seen people abroad who are over 70 years old pursuing masters and PhDs. We, too, need to study for the progress and development of our country. Just because we've finished school or university doesn't mean we should stop learning. Reading gives life, whether it's in medicine, law, or politics. It increases awareness and understanding. A person should visit the library at least once a week. Even if they don't read, just passing by and seeing. The books might spark curiosity or motivation. Reading is just as essential as food, just as we need food for the body. We need books for the mind.
With every book we read, with every page we turn, we breathe new life into these bridges. Let us cherish these houses of knowledge, support them, and together, build a brighter future. What you will see in the upcoming documentary.